everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Wave 2 of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. This includes Beast Morphers Red Ranger, Lost Galaxy Magna Defender, Beast Morphers Gold Ranger, and the Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger. So our first female in the line over here with the Pink Ranger, and I have to say I think Hasbro's already done an excellent job with the female sculpting, much more real and proportionate than the Bandai sculpting. I won't get into why, but I'm sure you can guess. But a very fun assortment of characters here. We get our first character with a cape as well, so we can kind of get a look at how Hasbro is handling those. And then, of course, we get two of the Beast Morphers, which makes sense because that's the currently airing show. So it makes sense to have nice figures for them. They all have civilian heads with the exception of Magna Defender. Maybe because he was a little bit more paint heavy, or the cape, or just more plastic in general, they decided not to give him a head, but not really sure 100%. First thing I guess I really should talk about is this beautiful artwork. Hasbro has really been crushing it on the artwork for these boxes. And then you have kind of nice press photo type pictures here on the back. Really, really spectacular. Here is Beast Morpher Gold. Here is Magna Defender. And then, of course, Beast Morpher Red. So really beautiful artwork there. I'll turn these around like this. Really, really neat. I like that quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. So here are the four figures out of the packaging, and I gotta say, I'm really happy with all four of these. They really look great. The Beast Morphers one, to me, are especially exciting just because I thought Go Busters was going to be skipped over for the longest time, and I really wanted nice figures of these suits, and now we have two of them. I really hope Blue gets this treatment as well, because he's my favorite out of the Beast Morphers / Go Busters suits, so I really hope he eventually gets a Lightning Collection figure as well. But these just look great. I mean, really nicely detailed. You can see the helmet is really nicely painted. I got lucky and a lot of mine don't have like paint flubs or anything. The, like, what would you call this? Harness or whatever, lack of a better term for this. It's not pegged in or anything. It just kind of sits there loose. You could probably get it off if you wanted to because it's a softer plastic. But that just kind of sits there. Really nice painted and detailed morpher here on his wrist. That looks fantastic. He has the sword here, which is also really nicely painted and detailed. He's got this crazy, like, grid looking 8-bit kind of accessory that just slides over the tip of the sword. Really nice and easy. It looks good. It's unique. It's the ones like I commented on my review of the one that came with the Gold Ranger from the SDCC pack. They're just kind of weird, jumbled messes, and I don't like those ones as much. This at least is unique. It fits perfectly on the sword, slides on very easily. So I like this one quite a bit. I think that's really cool. Articulation, pretty much what you would expect. Head can go up and down, side to side. You have the butterfly joint there in the shoulder, like the torso part of the shoulder. Then in the actual arm part of the shoulder, you have the swivel up, as well as the rotation around. You have the bicep swivel. Sometimes it's hard to get just one part to turn. You have double elbow joints. You have the, what I like to call kind of figure arts wrist, where it just swivels, but then also has the bend like that. And he does come with extra fists. So right now he's got a fist to hold the sword, and then just kind of an open hand. But he comes with two solid fists. If you'd like to switch them out, you just pull the old one out and then pop this one in and it snaps into place. Very simple. Torso has kind of a ball joint there, as well as the kind of ab crunch a little bit lower down towards the waist. Then you have kick to the front, kick to the back. He does have kind of a butt flap, so not too much to the back, but kick to the side. You have a thigh swivel, two joints in the knee. You do have a cuff swivel as well. And then you have kind of the standard front to back ankle, as well as side to side for some dynamic poses. I'm terrible at posing action figures, but All the posability you'd want is there, and he just looks great. He really, really looks good. He also comes with the Cheetah Blaster accessory, which looks very nice. Not a ton of paint on this, but still looks pretty good. And then he comes with the civilian head, which they did a great job on this. I think the hair looks good. He's even got his little earring. Really nice job with the civilian heads. Really, really well done. I'm not going to show you, but it's very simple to just pop this head off, pop the other one on, and then you're good to go. So I'm really happy with Beast Morpher Red. I think he came out looking fantastic. Next up, we have Magna Defender, and this guy just looks phenomenal. The head sculpt, all the paint on the helmet looks amazing. All the kind of nice metallic green paint and silver there on the chest. He's got the gold here. And when you look at the armor, it looks like it has texture to it, which is really very cool. He's even got some plating here outlined in silver. He's got all the same articulation. They pretty much all have the same articulation. He's got a kind of soft plastic cape. You can see it's black on the back, red on the inside, and that just kind of hangs down. You can see that the... Let me move. Actually, the shoulders do lift up so as not to hinder the articulation, but the joint on mine is a little tight. There we go. You can see that he does have the sword in the holster, which can peg onto this strap around his waist, and then you can pull the sword out of the sheath, and the sword looks beautiful. Really nicely painted and detailed. You even have that little bit of green there. Really very nice. And then you can just pop this into his hand. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get accessories into their hands just because they're kind of tight, but it's easy enough to eventually get it. And again, I'm not very good at posing figures, so I apologize. But I love the look of that sword. I think that looks great. As far as extra accessories go, he comes with a gun version of the sword in the sheath. Obviously, this can't come out. This is one solid piece. And it comes with a little effect piece that you can take off if you wish. And if you want to peg this version into the little gray strap around his waist, you certainly can. It has a peg on the side just like the sheath for the sword does. This piece really reminds me of something that would come with the Transformers Siege line. These effect pieces are very similar, but that just pegs into the end of the blaster there, and that looks great. Again, really nice gold and green. Really quite solid. He does come with 2 extra hands. I'm assuming this is if you wanted to put it underneath the blaster like this and have him hold it like that. So that's really cool. I like that a lot. He doesn't have a civilian head, but he's really rather intricate. And for, I would say, a good part of the show, maybe half the show, he didn't have a civilian head. So I can forgive it. Again, just you can see all the texture here in the armor bits. It's just really well done. He looks really great. Very imposing. I like him a lot. Next up, we have Beast Morphers Gold. Really nice shiny gold. I like that quite a bit. Again, his holster plastic piece is not kind of stuck in any or pegged in any way. So if you wanted to take it off, you probably could. It's just kind of loose in there. But I feel like it holds in place fairly well. I really like the drive. I think this is Drive Saber. I'm not exactly sure what this is going to be called in America. But it's the steering wheel that turns into the sword. Very cool. I really hope we get a roleplay toy of this that transforms back and forth. So far, the roleplay weapons haven't had that transforming aspect to them, but I really like this. And then he's got the morpher over here. Really very nice. He's got this crazy effect piece for the sword, but you can see that there's a slot down the middle, so you can just slide that right over the blade. Again, it fits on the weapon very easily, very snugly. I appreciate that. I don't like the ones that you just kind of have to like wrap around yourself and hope for the best. But I mean, that helmet is just perfect. The paint, the molding, the detail, everything about this guy looks fantastic. He's got all this extra molding in the thigh area, the shin, the feet. And again, same articulation as all the others so far. Really well done. He's got 2 extra hands. He's got this kind of rock and roll or Spider-Man pose, depending on what you want to consider it, and then a normal fist. And then he's got the civilian head. I wish Nate had his glasses. It's not a big problem, but it would be kind of more authentic to the show. But overall, it's a pretty good likeness, and they did a really nice job with the civilian head. So very cool there. But yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. Next up, we have Mighty Morphin Pink, and she comes with this really cool effect arrow. So it looks like it's being shot. You could even put it down a little bit farther so it kind of looks like she just let it fly. This is the kind of effect piece I can really get behind. I wish she could grasp it a little bit easier, but I really like this. I think it's really cool. She does also come with a normal arrow, if you'd prefer. So you can kind of line that up as well if you like the look of that better. And that kind of can fit in between her fingers, so that kind of fits a little bit easier. So maybe for posing's sake, that's a little bit simpler. But you can see she kind of has this open hand set for holding the bow. She does also come with 2 normal hands. She has that kind of posing hand, and then she has a normal fist. And I will point out that the bow, I believe, is pretty similar to the one that came with the SDCC set, because it does have the connections underneath for the other weapons. And it has the notch to connect to black. So that's really cool. I think that's neat. If you did not get the SDCC set, you should be able to still collect all the various Rangers and build the Power Blaster. Which makes sense. It doesn't really make sense that they would mold 2 different ones, but I think that's really excellent. She also has this Blade Blaster. It doesn't fit amazingly in the holster, but it does look pretty good. It's silver as opposed to white. The one from the San Diego Comic-Con set was white instead of silver. But I think it looks good both ways. But it just doesn't fit amazingly into the holster. It's not bad. I just wish it could sink down a little bit farther, but it's really not bad. Taking a look at the morpher on her belt. And not really so much. I mean, I think they tried a little bit to mold the coin in there, but not so good. But otherwise, you have a silver morpher with the black and the red, which all looks pretty good. And when mine came, this plastic piece for the skirt was hiked like all the way up to her midriff. So I had to pull it down a little bit to kind of put it where her waist would normally be. So just be careful, I guess, if you get yours out of the packaging. And you can see that she does have the ab crunch the same as everybody else. And she does have that up top torso section. And she just has, I'll say, more normal proportions than the Bandai ones did. The Bandais were like something out of a comic book. I'll let you figure out what I mean. But it just, the figure looks normal and it looks good and I like it. She does have the butterfly shoulder piece there. The helmet is just really sharp. I like the way that looks. It's painted nicely. Unfortunately, mine has a little bit of a defect up there, but that's really not that big a deal. But I love the sculpting. I love the paint detail. And just overall, the figure looks really nice. I guess she really does have all the same articulation as the others, except she's only got 1 elbow instead of 2 jointed elbows because the arms are thinner. So I just don't think it would work to have the 2 elbow joints. But I don't think she needs it. And she does have a civilian head. Let me put her off to the side here so we can take a look at this. It's not bad. Something about the teeth I feel like is a little off. Maybe it's just shadow. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent civilian head. I think they did a pretty good job with that. And I think that's all the accessories that she comes with. So yeah, Pink Ranger, I think they did a great job. I like it a lot better than the Bandai one because it actually has the right color belt. And it just seems like more normal human proportions, which is what I like. I think it looks and just makes more sense. And the pink is a very nice bright pink. I think that works really, really well. So these are just really, really nice figures. I can't recommend them enough. I got mine from Hasbro Pulse. Some people have been finding them in Walgreens. I don't know if they've really shown up at like Walmart or Target yet, but get them wherever you can find them. They're really nice figures. I recommend all 4 of them. Even if you already have the Bandai Mighty Morphin Pink, I think this one's much better. I think you're definitely going to want to pick this one up. All the accessories are great. The sculpts are great. The paint details are very nice. All the molding is really well done. I don't really have anything to complain about these guys. I think they really knocked it out of the park with these, and I look forward to more releases from Hasbro. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.